everybody, welcome back to Stock Talk with your girl, Dr. E and David.
Hey, welcome back.
We are too excited to talk about this next upcoming week. Actually, also this next upcoming couple weeks.
Yes,
Because guess what? Earnings is
earnings
here. It's
season.
earnings season.
Get the
Exactly.
money.
So yes, it's very important to make sure you understand what's going on with these companies, and making sure you're able to actually read the chart correctly.
Yes, that's the most
Um,
important part of everything is reading that chart correctly.
Right.
Yep.
And then also, even if you can read the chart, making sure that you're ready. If you are the type to jump into an actual earnings play, to make sure you're buying the right contracts. Because a lot of times, if the theta is high or the volatility is high, it may not even be worth your time. Um, but definitely to buy a little bit later on. But regardless, please remember that we are not financial advisors.
No,
This is not financial advice.
not at all.
Please remember all trade comes at risk, and that we are not recommending for you to hold, buy, or sell. None of that. Exactly. So let's just go ahead and jump into. We'll be doing two stocks today. We'll be talking about Netflix, who has earnings coming up, as well as SoFi. SoFi is next week. Netflix is on the 21st. So you definitely want to take a look at their charts, and then also take a look at the charts in general because
Right.
it really hasn't moved since the president made that one announcement about China last Friday. So within this, since like September 22nd until now, it has been staying pretty low and consistent inside one area. And I really think it's going to stay consistent until earnings season, until it's time for everybody's earnings. Then after that,
Right.
it's really going to push the market in the direction that it wants to go.
And well, side note, while we looking at these two coming up for earning seasons, you get into it. But like you said, if you don't have the money to play, it's always good to look at to see after earnings is done where you're gonna go with this. Like you might not have the money, and a lot of people don't have the money to play earnings, and earnings is kind of dangerous to play. So you got to watch what you do. But it's not for earnings; it's for what happens after the earnings, whichever way they go. Like, how do you
Exactly.
set yourself up to attack the stocks after the earnings is done? So that's what you're really
Mm-hmm.
looking at.
Yes, because just because the stock may move up, hey, move up 20%, 10%, whatever it is, throughout the rest of the week or for also the next upcoming weeks, it normally moves substantially as well with low volatility. And so if you're a buyer, if you're actually buying contracts and you're not selling them, that volatility is not good for you. Okay, you don't
Right.
you don't want that smoke. But if you are a buyer of contracts, then knock yourself out
Right.
with being able to sell those contracts, knowing you can make a whole bunch of money on your end. So let's go ahead and jump into some information for Netflix.
So we're looking at Netflix's quarterly earnings coming up. So in 2025, they're putting more focus on monetization. So they're shifting its focus away from the quarterly earnings subscribers numbers to emphasize more on monetization and engagement metrics, advertising and gaming, stuff like that. So the company's low cost ad tier continues to grow to drive growth and new accounts on half of all new subscriptions. It also pushes into the gaming market and interactive cloud gaming, which is really cool because the gaming market is really big right now. It's been big for a long time. Actually, it's one of the biggest markets out there when you get into gaming. So when you get into advertising to interactive cloud gaming, is really the method of playing video games by streaming over the internet from remote devices like your tablet, your smartphones, your smart TVs, stuff like that. Powerful hardware that you can download with powerful hardware without having to download into any installation devices like your video games and stuff like that. So they're getting into the gaming platform, which that's going to be really good for Netflix. So their strong quarter three projections. Netflix projected a 17% increase in quarterly revenue, reaching 11.5 to 11.526 billion, and an estimate of uh, uh, $6.87 per share. So the growth in advertising revenue and advertising is projected to move more than double in this next quarter. So Netflix is really changing its focus to do bigger to getting into the gaming world because when you get into streaming, there's only so much stuff you can do in streaming. They got kind of like the movie thing on lock. So now they're going to get into streaming a way of finding a way of streaming video games and focusing more on advertising. So that's they're hoping that's going to drive this next quarter of earnings up. So next we want to get into SoFi and what they're doing. So what I didn't say in the last and part of Netflix is that their earnings is going to be on October the 21st. So SoFi we're getting into now, their earnings is going to be on October the 28th. And some of the key expectations for SoFi is their third quarter EPS. The analysts focus on a consensus EPS of 8 cents, which is estimated ranging from 7 cents to 9 cents. A year-to-year growth it is a year-to-year growth, and this is 60% increase compared to the 5 cent EPS report in the third quarter of 2024. So the earnings reports of the quarter ending in September 2025 is scheduled for October 28th before the market opens. The revenue outlook. Revenue is expected to be around $805 million and an increase in 34.9% from the prior years. The future outlook for SoFi's full year 2025 guidance has been raised, and the earning growth is expected to be strong in the next coming years. So you really want to just focus on SoFi. You want to chart it, see what's going. It is digital banking, so it goes along with how banking is going along. It is an increase going, and it's showing you the increase from last year to this year and the prior years ahead. So we're just going to keep our eyes on where SoFi is going with this. And next, we're going to get into some charting with Dr. E. And she's going to show us on the chart exactly where both of these things are going, because it's always about what the chart says.
All right, you guys. So as you can see on Netflix, I am currently on a weekly chart. You are able to see how um, how regardless if it's been kind of stagnant these last couple of days, that is still moving up in an upward trend. But it's still definitely trying to make a decision. It's sitting there right in the middle. But from what we can see based on the support, if it does fall, it will fall to around 1089 and bounce off that support area. And then it will go up to 1500 if it decide to go the other way. This is a weekly chart, so it normally takes a week or so for it to hit those areas, but it's definitely thinking about it very hard. It can go either way, so please be mindful when it finally does break out of the area that it's in right now. So for the low, the area is 1148 or 46, and then for the high we got 1254. So if you look out for those areas as soon as it finally decides to break out, then you can definitely say, okay, it's time for me to make a decision. But please be cautious while you are looking at these charts. Let's go ahead and go to the daily chart. The high is 1300, the low is 1163. So as you can see, it's within those trend lines. It's also within the actual Bollinger Bands as well. It's trying its best to stay within those areas. We do have a gap down starting at 1178 all the way down to 1163 that it will cover at some point. So please be mindful of that area. But other than that, the numbers kind of still stay relatively the same. So please be mindful of like the 1100 area. And then for a high, please be mindful of around 1300, anywhere between 1300 and right underneath that big resistance area when it stopped at 1341. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and go to SoFi. So for SoFi, the weekly high within the next couple of weeks, I can definitely see 33 being the high, around 25, 26 being the low. It is working its way up. It's at the bottom of the actual trend line, which is great. especially for people who's looking to jump into SoFi. It's at the bottom of its trend line. If it actually does break through and goes down, then look for a 2249. That's a safe spot on the weekly chart. But that's only if it actually breaks through. Yeah, I think it may have a hard time breaking through this area, and it may go ahead and carry itself on up. I know October, it is a low volatile month, so it normally moves no more than 1 to 2%. Definitely within the 1%, 1.5% area. It's been that way for years upon years. I think since like 1928. So please make sure that you're not getting too stressed out about why isn't it moving. I know President Trump did make that announcement last Friday, but if you really look at the chart, you'll be able to see that they were going to have a tough time moving past a lot of these areas regardless. If anything, the stock market was looking for an excuse to either fall in a direction that it wanted to go or to go up in a direction. So anytime you do hear the news, just know that the actual stock wanted to do that anyway. All right, you guys, now looking at the actual SoFi chart on the daily, the high is anywhere between $31 to $32, and then the low was $26.54. It is going up. It is going up. Is at the actual bottom of the trend line. So if it does surpass the trend line, then yes, it will go further, but most likely not. Because it's hitting a very hard resistance area there at the bottom. So don't think that it will go past anywhere between the $25 area. I sincerely believe that it's going to go up. And as soon as it hits past the 2905 area, just based on looking at the chart, you'll be able to see that, hey, it passed a good resistance area. Then you already know that it's going to go up and hit towards the the $32 mark. Okay. All right, you guys, we really hope you enjoyed this episode. We talked about Netflix, we talked about SoFi, we talked about how to check a chart and how to look for earnings. Please make sure that you not only just continue to work hard in the stock market, make sure you're journaling, okay?
Right.
Journaling is absolutely everything. So you can figure out why, hey, what happened last week when I messed up on Friday?
Yeah.
It's usually a Friday or a Monday.
Man.
What happened last week?
Those Fridays can be iffy.
Oh my gosh. So yes, what happened on that day and how can I continue to learn from it?
Right.
And then also if you consistently need help and you would like to join a community of people, please feel free to join our amazing community. You'll be with like-minded traders. You'll be able to get our trades live. As we do them, you'll be able to have access to them. So you know you're making winning moves as well.
Also, if you don't have a journal, we have one for you. So the link below is going to send you to the journal that we have. So go ahead and get you a journal. It's beautiful. You'll love it. Trust me, a lovely person made it. And that will help you track your trading perfectly. And it doesn't have to be like what I did bad last week. It can be what you did good last week. And you want to repeat that, rinse and repeat that same method. Go ahead and get you a journal and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, exactly. You want to definitely learn and understand your own strengths, your weaknesses, what opportunities you see in the market, and what threats do you see in the market as well.
And if anything, it'll help you build your own stock plan. Like you got your own way of the trading stock. Everybody got their own way. Yes. Nobody's going to be, the same way because we all think differently. So you can build your own way of thinking of how you get in and out of your stock. What's your trading strategy? Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't get it together. I don't know why, but yeah, what's your trading strategy? So yeah, that'll always help you.
All right, you guys. Well, until next time, best of luck.
Yes.
And we will see you in the next one.
Don't forget to keep trading.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Hey, you guys. We really hope you enjoyed that last episode.
And if you're really ready to keep transforming, go ahead and jump into that next lab episode. The one right here. Down here. The link right here.
It's probably over here.
Or there. Or here. Link. Click. Go ahead. You got it.